You're listening to those two IM guys podcast. You'll find interviews, reviews, and interesting topics discussed inside with your hosts, Tony Earp and James Kennedy. So, what are you waiting for? Get inside!
Hello and welcome to those two IM guys podcast with me, your host, James Kennedy, and my co-host, Tony Earp. We're going to have an incredible chat today again. Last week's was absolutely a monster of a session, but it was well deserved. So today we're going to go and talk about traffic, and we're going to hand you over to the expert, Tony Earp.
Hi, James. Great to be here as usual. Hello to our viewers and listeners. As James said, we got a bit carried away last week. We did best part of a 2-hour show. So, I think that was just a bit much in one session, James, for everybody, to be fair. So we'll try and condense everything now and in the future into sort of 45 minutes to an hour. It's just more digestible for everybody. Absolutely. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, 100%. I think in one hand, though, we were so in the moment. And the golden nuggets were just falling out everywhere,
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I don't regret that session, to be honest. It was a monster. It was a heck of a one to get online, but we got there in the end.
Yeah, I think the best way to sort of avoid it, and I agree with you, it was a great session. There was some great golden nuggets in there, some great information for our viewers and listeners. But again, to expect anybody to sort of digest a 2-hour show in their day is a big ask. It'd be difficult for me and you to do that, I would imagine. Yeah,
definitely.
So I think if we think it's going to carry over, we'll say, guys, okay, we're going to stop that right here, and we're going to do a second video. Or if we do carry on and we're in the moment, we'll split it into 2 videos so people can digest it in smaller chunks.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's a great idea, because I was going to say, if we're in the moment, I'm quite happy to keep it going. But as you say, we can stop the video and then start a new one.
Yeah, I agree. I don't mind carrying on. I feel the same as you, but I'm looking at it from our viewers and listeners' point of view. I think if we get a show that goes on that long again, we'll break it down into digestible chunks for them. Yeah.
Definitely. But I think, as I say, because we were in the moment, I was thinking, as you were talking about one thing, there's things coming into my head that I wanted to share. And when I was sharing things, it was opening up other things to you, and we just went mad. But yeah, it's all good, and we're on to a new subject now. So once again, apologies for that long session, guys, but I think it was worth its weight.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we need to apologise. I'm sure our viewers and listeners understand that the content in that was quality for them. But I think, in hindsight, we're learning ourselves. As we keep saying, everybody learns something new every day. I think we just break that size of a show down into more digestible chunks for people, yeah?
Definitely. So, Tony, we're talking about traffic today. Where should we start?
Okay, well, as you know, James, no matter what you do online, whether you sell digital or physical products, you need traffic to your offer, don't you? And I think it's fair to say that it's one of the biggest topics that can confuse the hell out of people. And also, people can be very misled as well. But you need to understand the basics, guys. And really, traffic breaks down to 3 different types of traffic. You do get subcategories off the main 3 types. You'll get little subcategories off that, but generally you've got paid traffic, which speaks for itself. You pay for that traffic. You've got organic or free traffic, which is the kind we all love because it's free. And you've got affiliate traffic. So if you're a vendor, a developer of products, you can create your own. You can create your own affiliate army to sell those products for you, but it comes at a cost, as we know, and we'll touch on that a little bit more as we go through this discussion. Yeah, what's your personal findings with traffic, James? What's your struggles been?
Well, as I say, I've never invested any money in traffic. Now I'm actually in the process of looking at some high ticket offers with paid traffic. And also I'm now studying Facebook ads myself personally to kind of help other people going forward. So it's all still quite new to me, but I've built my business on the reputations of my partners. And again, through affiliate traffic and obviously aligning myself with guys like yourself, Tony, that have got a much bigger list than me. where I've kind of became a partner in a project, and that's where my traffics came from. As well as obviously organic on YouTube and Facebook. But again, they are absolutely a drop in the ocean in comparison to where I can leverage the power of other affiliates like yourself that are super affiliates and obviously have massive lists. So that's where I've implemented those kind of strategies.
Yeah, so you've used the traffic sources that suit you for what you're particularly doing at this time, yeah?
Absolutely.
But I think in the long term, everybody needs a traffic strategy, don't they? And I think it's also fair to say that they need to mix up the types of traffic they're getting, you know, different sources they're getting that traffic from, whether that's paid, free, you know, guest posts on other people's blogs, whatever the case may be, yeah? You know, being very active on social media. But let's start with number one. Let's talk about paid advertising. Now, you just mentioned something right there. Guys, for the benefit of our viewers and listeners, I'll just tell you this now. I didn't know before this call that James was currently doing some, you know, going through some training on Facebook ads. But this leads into what I'm going to say. Guys, you've got to educate yourself. Don't just go setting up ads, you know, on Google or YouTube or Facebook or any other paid platform without educating yourself first, because it's going to be very easy for you to lose your shirt, yeah?
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're thinking about doing that, if you could just send your money in an envelope to me and Tony, we'll half it. At least it'll go to a good cause instead of Zuckerberg, you know, because ultimately you're going to lose your money.
James, do you know something? We'll actually just keep hold of that cash for them for a while, and we'll send it back later on. But yeah, I think we both know from personal experience from people that we know online that it's very easy to lose your shirt at paid advertising. So educate yourself, guys. There's plenty of free, you know, good free and paid training out there. Neil Patel, amazing marketer. If you want any absolute fantastic marketing advice, he's got some great golden nuggets about, you know, free and paid traffic on his website. And he's definitely somebody you should be following as well, just in general, for general marketing advice. Yeah,
definitely. You know, you hear about people being 2 steps ahead. He's like 22 steps ahead. The guy is a
and
genius.
It's no surprise, James, that he does the marketing for a lot of very big Fortune 500 blue chip companies, you know, because like I say, if one thing our viewers and listeners go and do today, apart from getting on our list, is make sure you follow Neil Patel, because you will get some golden nuggets of information through in your inbox on a regular basis, yeah? Absolutely. Okay, so let's go back to paid advertising, paid traffic. So the good thing about it is anyone can buy traffic, James. Yeah?
And one of the nice things about it, it's scalable and fast.
Yes, it's fast. Also, it's temporary. If it's not working, you switch it off.
On the top.
Yeah. But as we've already said, it can be very expensive. But again, you know, return on investment is another topic for another day. But everything regarding paid advertising is about return on investment. If you're spending $10,000 on paid advertising, but you're making $100,000 in sales, then you're getting a really great return on investment. But, you know, like I say, do educate yourself, do your research before you start creating ads and applying a budget to that, because otherwise you will lose your shirt, yeah? The other good thing, James, about... Sorry,
Tony, I was going to just interject there. You remember that saying in business years ago, there's 3 things you need to know about business. It's location, location, location. In the new internet world, it's about testing. You need to test for a little dollar, $2 here, then scale it a little bit, then a little bit. And then if it's going well, you're getting a good cost per click, etc., then you can open the floodgates a little bit more at a time. But keep your eye on it, guys, because this is, I mean, literally you could wipe out your bank account like that if you've not got the perimeters and boundaries in place.
Yeah, you need to spend the time, James, whatever advertising platform it is, whether it's Google, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, or LinkedIn, anything else, yeah? Whatever paid advertising you're looking to do, apart from educating yourself, you're spot on. Testing, split testing is everything. You need to be doing 5 or 6 different ads. So different ad copy, if you're using images or video, different videos, and split test the ones that work. Because when you're looking at the analytics, you know, after a few days, after a few weeks, you can see the ads that are working and not working for you, so you can switch the bad ones off, and then all your budgets apply to the ones that are working for you.
And it can be such a simplistic thing as changing one word out for another that could maybe change your conversion rate from like 0.1 to maybe 3, 4, 5%. And when that sounds probably a bit crappy, 3, 4, 5%, but that's an incredible return on investment if you're converting those kind of leads. But
yeah, we paid advertising, especially really doing your demographic targeting, and most of the platforms offer great tools to help you do that now. It's critical to the success of your campaign. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so number 2, organic or free traffic. This is the one we all love, James, because it's free. It also takes a lot of work. Yeah,
I was going to say it might be free on cash money, but it's certainly not free on time, and that's so much more valuable to me than the money. But yeah, it can take a lot of time.
You've really got to educate yourself about search engine optimization. If you're in a really competitive niche, for example, weight loss, don't try and rank for weight loss. You're never going to do it in a million years. Yeah. Look at the long tail keywords. Go out there, look at the different keyword softwares that are available, both free and paid, to help you, find those long tail keywords that you're going to be successful in ranking for. Yeah. Again, search engine optimization, keyword research is another topic for another day. We'd never, ever be able to fit it into 1 hour.
Can I just ask, just when we're on this topic, is there any one piece of software or tool you would recommend for keywords? There's one I know that I use on occasions.
What is the one you use?
Longtail Keyword Pro. Longtail
Pro.
Yeah.
Yeah, Longtail Pro, as the product's called, it's specifically for long-tail keywords, and it's a great tool. And total transparency here, guys, I've been the JV manager for that product in the past. James didn't even know that, to be fair.
I didn't know that until recently. But as I say, I was a bit blown away because it is a massive product, and obviously, Tony, a lot of people that might be watching this don't actually know your reputation, but you're a bit of a silent but violent guy, you're kind of out there and you're doing a lot of stuff underground. You're like a bit of a swan. Nobody sees too much of you, but you're paddling like hell and you're working for everybody underneath in the background. It's hilarious, actually.
Sadly not beautiful like a swan, James. But you
might grow out of that ugly duckling phase eventually. Hopefully, I'm hoping for that as well.
I get involved in quite a lot of things and quite a lot of projects, but I don't go around shouting about it. I'm not that sort of a guy. Yeah. But yeah, Longtail Pro, guys, there's other ones out there, not just Longtail Pro, but that's a great tool that I can recommend. SEMrush, again, look at some of the free tools they've got on their site. There's a few good ones out there. Ahrefs is another fantastic tool. Again, to get the full functionality of all those tools we've just mentioned, guys, you need a paid subscription. They do have a free option, but you're going to be limited on how deep that they will dig for you with the free option. Yeah?
Absolutely.
I'll put some of these resources in a post on our website, James, for the benefit of our viewers and listeners as well. Yeah.
Fantastic. Now, what an incredible, by the way, guys. I know last week was a mammoth call, but Tony put together an incredible package if you decided to sign up to our mailing list. I won't go into it just now, but check that out on our Facebook page because Tony put together a great software for free and lots of value as well. So check that out later on the website.
I think we were going to offer some free PLR.
Yeah, as well as your
as well, quality PLR to help viewers and listeners have a kickstart. Yeah,
absolutely.
Okay, so let's go back to organic or free traffic. Again, we've already established that it needs a lot of search engine optimization, on your content, if it's your website, on your posts, on your pages, to be able to rank for the keywords you're looking for. Yeah. But once you are ranking, James, that traffic is durable, isn't it? Once you're ranking for a key phrase, you're going to get that traffic for a good period of time.
Yeah, until something like Google changes their algorithms
of the niche. Yeah?
Yeah, but what I'm saying, until something like Google changes their algorithms, but again, it's kind of keeping top of it, make sure that it's still ranking and making sure that you're on top, you'll get your finger on the pulse, making sure that nothing's changed, because sometimes we can rest on our laurels. But
Yeah.
yeah, if you start, as soon as you start ranking, it's pretty much going to be there for quite a while.
Yeah, and sadly, there's nothing any of us can do about the algorithm updates. They're going to happen. They're going to continue happening. And as much as some people get hit by those algorithm changes, other people benefit. So you've got to bear that in mind as well. It does, I see people, oh my God, Google are releasing a new algorithm update. It's the end of my world, when they're like that. They've got that mindset before the update's even been released. It could be in their benefit.
Yeah. It's that negative spiral people go into sometimes, and it's like, you know what? You're worrying about something that's not happened.
Yeah, and again, going back to education, guys, make sure you subscribe yourself to Google Webmaster, to the actual blog, because you'll get all that critical information you need about SEO in advance of it happening, well in advance of it happening, so that's certainly something I would recommend to all our viewers and listeners, that they do that.
A lot of people do jump onto these kind of high-ticket SEO trainings, this new never-seen secret that's going to get you ranking. But the reality is, the guy that's selling those courses is usually the guy that's in Google Webmaster watching what Google's doing and actually using that, and then they put it into a course and make a small fortune off it. So, as I say, I am a person that doesn't spend quite a bit of money on my education, and pretty much everything I make other than my essentials goes back in. But Tony is a much more canny guy than me, and he knows where to look and get the good stuff for free when it's possible. So definitely worth listening to Tony on these subjects.
Yeah, I mean, James, let's just have the reality of it here. Yeah, if somebody's planning on spending money on paid advertising and they're not doing their research and not following some good quality training on setting ads up on that particular platform before they add their, before they create their ads and allocate their budget, then that's just stupidity.
Absolutely.
So don't do that, guys. Educate yourself, do your research about the platform you're planning to advertise on, because every platform's different.
Can I just add something in here, though, on the free traffic side of things? If you don't have the chops for it, because SEO in particular is something that can be quite mentally draining and demanding. And if you've not got it, you can always hire somebody that does it. But make sure that that person that you're going to hire is somebody that has actually got skills, and don't just tell you that they've got skills, because you could lose your shut that way as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is why I emphasize quality training, because there's a lot of bad stuff out there. But so go with a reputable trainer, guys. Okay. As I say, Neil Patel offers this sort of training. I can tell you absolutely right now, it's not cheap, but as we say in every episode, it seems, James, you get what you pay for, don't you? If someone is offering you, amazing Facebook ads training for $17, I would run a mile. Yeah.
Or at least go to Munshire and look at the real funnel. It's amazing. Now you've seen the page for it. Now you can buy all the OTOs so that you actually do get the amazing training. So I agree.
I would say to get a good ballpark figure for getting some good, decent training on Facebook ads, etc., would be over $300 up to $500. You're probably looking at getting a different level of training if you're prepared to spend that much on your education. Yeah,
absolutely.
Now, the good thing is about search engine optimization, James, is that keyword opportunities are endless. They're unlimited. So again, long tail keywords, that's what you need to be going for, guys. They're the I love this phrase, low hanging fruit.
I love it. I like low hanging fruit.
Sorry?
I love low hanging fruit. It just doesn't take too much effort,
I love low hanging fruit when it's ranking number one on page one of any of the search engines. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
But I think we've already established, guys, and you're understanding that as much as the opportunities are limitless, organic search is very super competitive. Yeah. Because everybody is in your niche, is trying to rank for the keywords and the keyword phrases you are. So you've got to be just putting in that extra mile that they're not prepared to do, basically. And again, educate yourself, yeah? Okay, number 3. Have you any questions on that first, James, before we move to number 3?
No, I agreed with everything you were saying there. You know, as I say, I would like to touch on again, if you don't have the temperament to can actually learn some of this, because I'll be honest, SEO destroys my soul. It's one of those things that I really struggle with, and I have paid other people to do it. So if it's something that you, although it's organic, you might be able to pay somebody to do some of the heavy lifting for you. And that's something that I would consider, because I don't want our listeners and our viewers to be like, that's okay for you guys because you know how to do that. Tony does. I don't, and I don't even care about it, certain things. Facebook ads, I'm interested in that, but SEO is something it's mumbo jumbo black magic science that I don't understand nor ever seem to kind of work out well. I put 10 hours in and I get nowhere. So from that point of view, definitely think about, if it's not for you, realize that sometimes you just need to outsource certain things.
Yeah, as a business owner, you've got to use your time wisely, James, and not everybody's good at everything. You know, I'm not good at everything. You're not good at everything. And there are experts that specialize in SEO.
Absolutely.
They're going to get you results because they're experts, and because that's the only thing they do. They're going to get you results a lot faster than you are yourself. But again, I totally appreciate that with the majority of people, especially people starting out, it boils down to budget.
Of course.
And all I can say is it won't do you any harm educating yourself about the basics of SEO and keyword research. And then later on, once you start getting some results, you may have some budget available to then be able to outsource that, like James just said. Yeah.
Awesome.
Okay, number 3, social media traffic. Right, okay. This is a strange one, isn't it? Because the amount of people I speak to that think they can comment on a couple of posts or do a couple of posts on their feed, and they're going to get hundreds or thousands of people to their offer or website is unbelievable.
Yeah, they're ordering the Lamborghini after they've done 2 posts.
Yeah, it's naive, James, honestly, and I don't mean that being rude to anybody, but it's just naive. With social media, if you want serious traffic, you need to be very active, because social media traffic it's unpredictable, James.
Yeah, and there's so many people posting all the time. So as soon as you've put a post on a news feed, it's lost. It's a mile down the page within 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And as I say, it's all about kind of targeting the right people and doing the right things. Yeah, but it does take a lot of time.
I think the thing to remember as well, it's not just about traffic. You know, it's about networking, public relations, customer service, influencer marketing. That's a big thing, as you know, because if you can connect with a good influencer, that can result in you getting some great traffic.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's something that you can hire as well. You know, that's something that you can actually, a lot of people think that, this influencer might like my new whatever it is, and they're going to promote me. A lot of these influencers, guys, are for hire, you know, so bear that in mind as well.
Yeah, they are, James, and again, some of the amounts these top influencers want is staggering. For the benefit, again, of our viewers and listeners, we're not talking hundreds of dollars here, guys. We're talking tens of thousands of dollars in some case for one promotion, yeah? And one thing I want our viewers and listeners to realize is that things like, you know, obviously networking, public relations, customer service, influence marketing, all those cool things, they can't be measured by any analytics.
No.
So you've no way of tracking how effective that's been, yeah?
Yeah.
So that's something to take on board and remember.
I think one of the things I would like to share with our listeners and viewers is I find peer-to-peer marketing really, really successful. You know, when you start to get to know people, and if you've signed up to some Facebook group and you start kind of doing things and posting content, and you actually start connecting with people, sometimes that person might be interested in something that you've got. And I don't mean just literally going a pitch fest, because that's the quickest way to get yourself blocked and removed from groups. But if you know that somebody's talking to you about something and you know that there's a product or a service that would work for them, then you can share that information with them. It doesn't necessarily need to be that something you've got an affiliate link to, but if you say, yeah, I know about this product that's really good, and if they say, have you got a link for it? You say, well, this is the page. I might have an affiliate link if that works for you, but if not, I'm quite happy for you to go on your own. Be transparent, but I'm telling you that whether you buy it from me or whether you don't, it's still a great product, because I never promote anything really that I don't use or would use myself.
Yeah, I mean, using that method, James, you're actually making a personal connection with the person, aren't you?
Absolutely.
That's the difference. Yeah. I mean,
as long as you're coming from a place of help first.
Yeah.
Not profit.
What I can tell everybody is that if their only reason for being active on social media is to attract visitors and traffic, they're going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
It
won't
it's
deliver
about,
what you think it does.
Yeah, you have to be active, but it's about consistency. As you say, it's about networking, connecting peer to peer, getting that personal contact with your audience, as we're trying to do in these episodes we're doing, James. Yeah,
absolutely. Because the way I look at it is, we're giving all this information completely free. We're not selling anything here. We've got nothing to pitch. There's nothing here. It's literally, we're coming from a place of help and assistance. But I would hope that if we have actually got something that's worth offering to our listeners, our followers, they'll see, well, wait a minute, James and Tony give us so much value. I've gained so much from them already. And this product, if they're genuinely recommending it, is going to be probably good for me. And I don't mind those guys making a little bit of money from that product. It's scratching backs. And as I say, I definitely think that's the way to go, being honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're trying to just consistently deliver value, or over deliver value if we can. Again, I'll just mention what I mentioned in the last episode, James, to all our viewers and listeners. Your comments are super important and critical for us, because it's going to allow us to plan out our future episodes to deliver the content that you want us to discuss. Yeah. We're going to have some great guests on. We're going to have some great experts on. We're going to review some great products. You'll probably notice that we've not reviewed a product for a few weeks, and that's being totally honest about it. Is because we don't like what we're seeing in the marketplace at the moment. So we're not prepared to put our name and stand behind, the products that are currently out there being launched. Yeah.
Certainly not jumping on anything that I've seen lately that I would say 100% I would back. I've seen some things come out and they've got some really good elements, but there's some elements to those products that I don't like. And don't be wrong, I've not looked at every product that's come out in the market, but the title sometimes just says it all to me. It's like, no, that's not what our listeners are looking for.
Yeah.
It's not what our viewers want to see. So it's not practical for us to do that.
Yeah. And me, James, I won't promote everything. As an affiliate, if I really like the product, I trust the vendor for the long term, and I'll stand behind the product. I'll get behind it 100%. But I'm not prepared to just promote anything to my friends and subscribers, because
especially when it's not. Especially when
I'm not that type of marketer, James. Yeah,
I was going to say, especially when some of these products. I've got literally zero support after the launch, and that worries me. I don't want to be a part of that, where a product comes out and they make so much, and then if it's not done as well as they hope, they just drop it. And those people that have maybe bought a full funnel, which could potentially be $500, and it's gone, it's in the mist.
I think it's a shame, and I think it's very sad, James, that a lot of the products being launched, the vendors look at that as the end of the product rather than the start of the product. I only want to be promoting products to my audience, and even to our audience, and having guests on here that I know are going to, support their products 100%.
Yeah,
absolutely. Give really good customer service.
Yeah, I agree, 100%. I find sometimes you get products come out and they're not going to deliver. They're not delivering now when they've launched, and they're certainly not going to deliver in a month's time. Don't be wrong, there is some products that have come out with the potential that it could have fell, but they've excelled. People have loved it, and those have went from strength to strength to strength. And I love to see that. But again, that's very much the minority and not the majority.
Yeah, and again, the thing I would emphasize to our viewers and listeners is do your due diligence, do your research before you go buying anything. Yeah, because as we've already established in previous episodes, sales copy can be very persuasive. That's what it's there for. Yeah.
Sometimes half of the budget goes into just the sales copy for the whole project. And that's a frightening thing, isn't it? When you think that, you know.
I mean, the frightening thing is, James, the amount of products I see that the sales copy is actually better than the product.
Well, it is. I mean, like half the money has went into literally a sales letter, and the other product, that other part of the product is like, well, the product's not really that important. It's the sales copy. And
I see it all the time. I see really absolutely rubbish products with great sales copy, selling thousands of copies. Yeah, I see really good products with maybe not a strong copy, selling very little. And it's a sad state of affairs, but it's just the reality of internet marketing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, let's go back to social media traffic. So one other thing I want to mention, the good thing about social media is that a lot of the stuff, a lot of the heavy lifting can be delegated, it can be automated, or it can be outsourced, James, because we've all got busy lives, and it's very difficult to be active every single day, multiple times a day on social media platforms, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, and you think about you've got such a luxury of like the kind of third world countries that have such a low income, and it's not that it's actually quite a high income for them there, but in comparison to our kind of in the Western world, I mean, you can pay people something like $5 an hour, and that's quite a fair payment for people to do your social media, where you would be paying $15, $20, $30 in the States, and maybe £15-20 here in the UK. So being able to leverage other economies to your advantage is incredible. And again, I kind of felt a little bit icky about that in the past, because I'm like, oh, it's not really fair. They're not getting much money. But when you see the cost of living to where they live, it's actually, I've thought about moving there myself. I'm thinking, I'll work for $5 there because I could live much better than I can here, and it's quite interesting, And also we've got automation tools that are out there, yourself, we've got loads of them between us, where we can literally do the work once and syndicate that all right across all the social media networks. So you promote once, loads of opportunities there.
Yeah, again, as you know, we're just setting up our syndication on our website for all for all our posts for those two I Am Guys episodes. And I think from memory, I'll need to check, but I think we'll syndicate out to 15 different platforms, James.
Which is lovely.
So we're going to have one piece of content that's going to have 15 chances of being found.
Yeah. And
which increases your chances of being found, of course.
Yeah. So from this video, for example, this video will then be, the audio will be stripped out and it will be into a podcast, which again will be syndicated over various different podcast platforms. We're on Spotify, we're on all sorts of places.
Yeah, Apple Music, on all the big ones.
Apple Music, how cool is that? But again, even the actual the words could be transcripted and put into a blog post. It's just so much that you can do. It could become a part of an ebook or something later on down the line. It's just so much opportunities.
Yeah, these, as we've said previously, the only boundaries really is your imagination. Yeah, that's what it boils down to. You've got to get creative, haven't you? And Absolutely. There's so many opportunities out there of how to turn one piece of content into literally hundreds of pieces of content if you get creative and use your imagination.
Definitely.
Okay, one of my favorite sources of traffic, affiliate traffic. Now, really, guys, this only applies if you're a product creator, and it doesn't matter what type of product you're creating, whether you're launching on JB, Warrior Plus, ClickBank, etc. But let's for every affiliate that gets on board your launch or behind your product, they're going to send you, in general, pretty targeted traffic, James. But it comes at a cost, yeah? And that cost can be anything from 50% of every sale upwards. I know some vendors that will give 100% of every sale, James, on the front end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know why they do that?
Yeah, because they want that email address.
Yeah, because the getting the customer on their list in the long term is worth more than giving the 100% to the affiliate on the front end product in the first instance. Yeah.
And that's a really good way to let our listeners and what viewers think, because I've done all this work, I've paid all this money to build this platform, wrote the copy, and I'm going to give it all away for free. That's insane, right? And I understand that, but how much is a customer worth to you? I mean, like, it depends on what you're doing. Are you only ever going to create that one product? If you are, then it's the wrong thing to do. But if you've got other things in the funnel where they get 50%, then you can make that up very, very quickly. And also, if that's the only product you're ever going to do, then it's maybe a kind of will I not. But if you've got another product lined up for something else later on that you can promote to the same marketplace, then it's a perfect opportunity. That person is then going to come to you, and you're going to be able to keep 100% of the front end on the next product yourself if they buy it from you. It's incredible.
Yeah, as a vendor and a product creator, it's one of my favorite forms of traffic, especially when you're initially launching a product, James, because it's not costing you anything up front. It's a great way of building your list with buyers. It's usually very targeted traffic as well, because all those affiliates have built their lists usually from selling their own products.
And I was going to say, one of the things I would kind of like to put, and I always use this example. If this bottle of water cost me $1 or 50p in the UK, and I sell it for $1, or I sell it for $2, then I have had a cost incurred. With a digital product, I have one cost incurred at the start to create the product. Whether I sell that once or whether I sell that 100,000 times, I don't have any more expense, other than possibly maybe if it's a hosted type of thing, and obviously you've only got so much bandwidth, I might have to pay a little bit more for that down the line, but it'll be absolutely negligible in comparison. So giving somebody 50% of that product that costs you a lot of money is nothing, because as one person selling that product, you've got the power of one. But by giving 50% or 100% on the front end and 50% through the rest of that funnel, you have got the power of many. And that is so powerful. You've got an army.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we've already said, generally the traffic from affiliates is very targeted. They're already interested in make money online products or in your particular niche. And they're already buyers, because generally affiliates have built their lists on selling their own products. So it's a win-win for the affiliate and for the product creator stroke vendor. Yeah.
Absolutely. And again, taking this slightly offline for a moment, this affiliate marketing's been going on forever. We're in the digital world, but if you think about it, if you know a plumber who's friends with a joiner, and if that plumber's in doing a job and he's fixing a sink and the client needs a whole new bathroom put in, I've got a friend that's a joiner. Here's the details. The joiner will maybe either give him another job back in lieu of that, or he'll say, listen, if you get me any customers, I'll give you £100 or a couple of $100. That's a good value proposition for those people as well. In the offline world, it's the same concept of what we are doing online, but just obviously something that's been happening for many, many years.
Yeah, absolutely. If any of our viewers or listeners are in any doubt that affiliate traffic works and converts, then all they need to do is go to any top brand on the internet. Yeah. Just the next time you're on a top brand's website, scroll to the footer, and you'll generally see in the footer affiliate and a link for an affiliate program or whatever.
or partner program,
or a partner program. Yeah, there's different names for it, James, but generally it'll be partner program, affiliate, affiliate scheme, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Now, if big brands, if Fortune 500 companies, blue chip companies, are using affiliates to promote their products, what does that tell us?
It works.
It works. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
it works. Absolutely.
Because even though these companies have massive advertising budgets, the cost per acquisition of each customer from an affiliate will be much lower than it will be through paid advertising. Yeah.
And the beautiful thing about affiliates, you only pay them when they've got you a customer.
Yeah.
If you're paying for advertising, you could put $100, $100,000 out, and you're still not guaranteed, not unless you've done the split testing, the testing, and you know that it converts, and you do it gradually by upscaling. But the reality is, Tony, if I bring a product out tomorrow, if you go and send it to your list and you put all that work in to try and get me a customer, if you don't make any sales, I don't have to pay you a penny. And that's really strong.
Exactly, and that's why I emphasised when we started talking about the affiliate traffic option. There's nothing to pay up front, James, as you've just established. So there's no upfront cost. You only pay when a sale is made. That is the beauty about it.
Love it.
Sorry?
Pay as you go. I love it.
Pay as you go traffic, guys. Yeah. Okay, number 5. We touched on this a little bit already, but email marketing. Yeah. Now, of course, guys, you need a list. Building a list, as we've established in many episodes previously, is super important. If you're not doing that, you're missing out, especially in the long term. So build your list. Yeah. But email marketing, the great thing about it is it's a digital channel. It's a traffic source that you can control because you've already got a relationship with that audience that's on your list, James. Yeah.
Absolutely.
If we look at social followers or your search engine results, your rankings in the search engines, you don't own those. They can change at any time. And okay, yes, somebody can unsubscribe from your list, but generally you're a lot more in control of your email list than you are of any other, traffic source. Yeah.
Especially, just like to put a point in there, especially if you're actually giving value to your email list. See if you're trying to sell them every single email. Sometimes that doesn't work, but see if you give them some golden nuggets, like you kind of pointed out on your list, you gave free hosting to your guys. That's, you don't do that all the time, but it's one of those things that the fact that people get to know you, you have a conversation with them through an email, and sometimes there's an offer on place with bonuses that are incredible. You are the guy for bonuses, Tony. There's no doubt about it. I thought I'd done good bonuses until I met you, but you take it to a whole new level. But the reality is, people, you've heard it before. What's in it for me, FM? What's in it for me? If there's not something in it for you, they're going to unsubscribe. But if you're pitching them constantly, you just become a noise, and they just become blind to your emails. But if they know that, Tony sent me this really cool thing last week, and then they know, by the way, just to let you know, I'm promoting this offer. It's pretty cool, and I'm going to give you more value again. I'll invest in that. I bought something last night, and I literally put the name of the product in my email and went through everybody's bonuses to see what would work for me. Because I like the product, and I was like, who's got something that'll actually be useful to me if I buy that product.
Yeah. Yeah, and bonuses add value, as we've already established. There's no doubt about that, but they need to be quality bonuses. But just going back to the email marketing and the traffic from that, you'll find, James, that if you can't just take all the time. You've got to give back, and that just builds up your consistency over time. It builds up your relationship and the trust between you and your email list, and your subscribers. And I've got a lot of subscribers now that have become friends, not just subscribers, because they've been on my list for so long. Yeah.
Yeah, well, as I said before, I became one of your affiliates because I liked the product that you were bringing out.
Yeah.
And then we had that relationship where we started speaking to each other, and we've kind of now, well, look at it. Came to see you I came to see you in Devon.
I would definitely stay with email marketing. It's about consistency. It's about trust, and it's about trying new things. So try different headlines, try different types of emails, and look at your stats in your autoresponder. See what see what the statistics are telling you, how many opens you're getting, how many clicks you're getting, and react to that. If you're not reacting to the data, why you're collating that in the first place? There's no point, is there? And email gets easier over time. Once you've got that consistency, once you've got that trust, and again, don't just take all the time. Give back. It will get a lot easier.
Definitely. And as I say, I mean, and they do say the money's in the list, and it really is, as long as your list is people that will buy from you, and they're in your tribe, they're doing things that you like, and you're doing things that they like, and you've got that rapport, and you've got something to offer them. If I could give you a list tomorrow, I could buy it from some kind of crazy thing online, have 10 million emails, but if it's 10 million emails about random stuff and I'm selling dog walking or dog training, it's going to be no use to anybody. I would rather have 100 people that were interested in my product and my service than 1 million that were interested in nothing that I had to offer. It would be a waste of time.
Yeah, absolutely. And nobody likes wasting their time, do they? That's not what we're about at all. Number 6, an obvious traffic source, but direct traffic. And what I mean by that is, James, somebody's already aware of your brand. So, they'll click on your website link, or they'll type it in, the search bar, or they'll click a link to your website in your social media profile or whatever. That's all direct traffic. You could have done a guest post on a blog somewhere. Again, someone clicks on your link. That's direct traffic to your website. You've got to be very active to be getting that type of traffic on a regular basis, because otherwise it's just dribs and drabs here and there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, obviously, and when you get those things, having pixels in place for retargeting could possibly be helpful as well. But again, that could be an episode in itself.
Yeah, very, very important, James, to retarget regardless of anything else. If you're doing any sort of paid advertising, you need to be getting those pixels on your website and then retargeting that traffic later on, regardless of where that traffic's coming from. But you will get some direct traffic just purely because people are aware of you, they're aware of your brand. And if you're a major brand, like Apple as an example, they're going to get a lot of direct traffic because people know their brand and they know what their website address is, etc., etc. Yeah.
Apple, who are they? What do they do? Said nobody ever. It's like, what's Coca-Cola? Exactly.
I don't think anyone will ever be saying that, James, that's for sure. Now, I've got a few other traffic ideas and opportunities for you. Now, a good one is discussion boards and forums, James. Very overlooked, but as you mentioned before, networking, super important. So discussion boards and forums are a great way of getting involved and getting backlinks back to your offer or your website. Yeah. Another one will be again along the similar lines, communities and groups. You know yourself as I do. Facebook groups, as an example, can be very powerful if used correctly. I just touched on the next one, blog comments. Reach out to people in your niche that have got, high authority blogs. See if you can do a guest post. When you do a guest post, there's a link back to whatever website URL you want to use. So that could be going back to your main website, could be going back to an offer, or anything you desire, basically. Yeah. Another opportunity is, as I say, the blog comments. You've got the guest posting, you've got outreach as well. Which is all along the same lines, basically, James, where you're outreaching to somebody else in your niche that's maybe got an authority blog or an authority forum or whatever, and seeing if you can, utilize their traffic in some way. Yeah. Another very powerful one that is massively overlooked is press releases. And there are press release services out there. But trust me, these can be very powerful if used in the right way.
Yeah, I heard of PR Wire. They seem to do.
Yeah,
quite
PR
well.
Wire, that's one. Yeah, they're good. There's a few different ones out there at varying costs, but if used in the right way, they can be very powerful. I think the thing that our viewers and our listeners need to remember, that diversity is good. Don't just rely on one traffic source. Diversify. Use the ones that we've mentioned today and any others that you come across or can think of yourself. Yeah, because we've not. Again, James, we're trying to keep the show in to a reasonable length. We don't want to make the same mistake as last week.
Yeah, I'm looking already. I'm like, we're hitting over that mark.
Yeah. But I think it's fair to say we've covered a lot of the core ones there, a lot of the main ones, and covered a lot of the pitfalls, advantages and benefits. Yeah?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a good session.
It has. Have you anything else to add?
I know that we were speaking before we came on. We spoke about solo ads.
Yeah, I've got a couple of sources. Yeah, I've got a couple of sources I can share with people. The thing to remember about solo ads, guys, is they can be very powerful, but you need to do a lot of testing, and it's a bit, because it's a form of paid advertising. Again, you can lose your shirt very quickly if you don't do your research, you do due diligence, etc., and educate yourself about solo ads. Bear with me, James. Can you share screen, and I'll share a couple of resources that I use personally.
All right, bear with me. I will give you the control, Tony. Right now,
not very often you give
power.
Me control. It's not very often you give me control, James.
God knows where we would end up.
Right, okay. Can you see my screen there?
Can.
Great.
Udemy.
Okay, so all our viewers can obviously see this for the benefit of our listeners. The site we're looking at is udemy.com, udimi.com, and it is a solo ads marketplace. Now, James, when you first log into this, because you can create a free account, etc., it can appear very daunting. Yeah. So again, guys, do your research, educate yourself about the platform. There is a variety of solo ad vendors from all over the world here. Yeah. You need to do your due diligence before you go placing an order with anybody. There's various solo ad deals. There's various filtering options that you can use. I would personally only go for tier 1 traffic. Are you familiar with tier 1 traffic, James?
Yes, I'm aware of tier 1. Yeah, obviously.
What's your understanding of tier 1 traffic?
Basically, tier 1, it converts well. It's the vendor's reliable, and people they make a good return on their investment. Usually, that's very limited on it, but that's what I'm aware of.
Yeah,
tier 1 is.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with what you just said there. I'll just expand on it a little bit for the benefit of the viewers and listeners. Yeah, basically, guys, tier 1 traffic, I personally wouldn't buy any other tier, but it's really all the main English-speaking countries of the world. And you're usually getting a better quality of traffic because that list has been built on people that are interested in making money online, James, yeah? Okay, or in a specific niche. So again, if you're looking for someone that's got a weight loss list, that list will have specifically been built on people that are interested in weight loss. Yeah.
So you can actually search.
Yeah, do your research. These are the things you need to be looking for, guys. And I think the two biggest things people don't do with solo ads is they don't do thorough research, and they don't ask the vendors enough questions. You need to be asking, ask them, how have you built this list? How are you attaining the email addresses? It's important for you to have that information. Well, I think so, James. Anyway, what about you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, again, they could have went in and bought a list of random people, and then they put it on here to be a reseller, and the traffic is garbage, you know. So
my top tips on Udemy or on any other solo ad site would be: use the filters, ask questions, do your research on the vendors, and make sure you ask those critical questions that I've mentioned, and you'll be able to, with the filters and everything, you'll be able to narrow it down to vendors that are more likely to deliver you, quality clicks, quality traffic, which result in quality clicks. Because remember, the whole purpose of these solo ads is to move them from the solo ad vendors list onto your list. And again, another top tip, James, sorry, I nearly forgot this, but another top tip with, let's say you buy 500 clicks. Don't send all the 500 clicks to one offer. Send, in my opinion, you should be sending 100 clicks to 5 different offers. So you're split testing.
Right.
And send them to
same product, offers, but just 5 different ways to sell it.
I would send them to 5 different types of offers, James. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Then, because you're split testing, you're going to get an idea of what that traffic is responding to better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I know somebody who shall remain nameless, and it wasn't me, by the way. I'm not disguising my own mistake here, but I know somebody that bought 1,000 clicks. They paid around about $500, I think, James, for these clicks, and they sent all 1,000 to one offer, and it didn't. They got a few subscribers on the email list, but the offer that they were sending to after that didn't convert at all. No sales.
Oh, yes. So I could have quite easily have done that myself, because I wasn't aware of how this was done.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying, James. It's very easy for somebody to lose their shirt on solo ads if you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to lose $500 today.
Yeah, goes back to what we were saying at the beginning. Do your research, educate yourself. It's the only way that you can give yourself the tools and ammunition that you need to be selecting a good solo ads vendor. Yeah? Again, most of these solo ads vendors, James, they've got testimonials. Check them out. But tier 1 traffic is crucial, in my opinion.
Yeah, amazing.
That doesn't mean that tier 2 and tier 3 doesn't convert. But I think initially, when you're on a limited budget and you haven't got a lot of room for testing, stick with tier 1, yeah?
And not to be confused by Udemy, UDMY, I think it is.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a platform that sells courses. This is not this. It's UDIMI.
Yeah. UDIMI.com is the website. And I'll put this in the recommended resources page on our website, James. Okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Tony.
Now, another resource I use is Traffic Domination. Now, this is training and solo ads for somebody I know. So I'm more than happy to sit here and recommend that you go and have a look at what's on offer here, guys. And again, I'll put the link in the recommended resources on our website, so everyone can go and take a look at this, James, in their own time. Yeah. And you can open a free account, guys. You've got some free training, some free traffic domination training. The gentleman behind this is called Wayne Crow. Really good guy. He's got a super active Facebook group where a lot of people show the results of their solo ad traffic, James, which is super important for anyone looking to use solo ads, don't you think?
Yeah, absolutely. As I say, it's something that, again, I've signed up to this, but I've never had the time to get around to it, so, but I definitely think it's well worth having, because Wayne seems to be quite a good lad. His conversation's pretty good, and he seems to be super switched on in this particular part of internet marketing.
Yeah, he lives and breathes traffic, James. That's his thing. He doesn't do anything else. Yeah. He's an expert. He specializes in traffic. His solo ads are not cheap, but cheap isn't always best, is it? Or cheap is usually never best.
No, never.
But just to familiarize yourself about solo ads, educate yourself a bit more. Wayne's got some free training in his members area. There are other paid options, guys, total transparency here. But the other thing to remember is there's also income opportunities for our viewers and listeners, because he has an affiliate scheme as well.
Yeah, and I think he's got some sort of reseller training as well. So if you get really into this, you can actually become a traffic, a solo ad reseller underneath his
He's
traffic
got
domination
both
bar.
types of training. He's got both types of training, James. He's got training if you want to sell solo ads, but he's also got training if you're a buyer of solo ads as well. The good thing about this is you don't have to filter through anything because you know who you're buying from. You're buying from Wayne. You've not got thousands of solo ad vendors to filter through, but like I say, he's got a free option, some free training. Go and check it out. You've got nothing to lose. It's not going to cost you anything. If you don't like what you see, you can unsubscribe quite easily. I'm a member of his Facebook group, and I can tell you now, it's super active. A lot of case studies are posted in there, which are going to give you a lot of valuable information and resources. And again, I'll put both these links in the recommended resources of those two IM Guys website.
Amazing.
Right, I'll stop the share now, James. I'll give you back the power.
Okay, I have the power. Okay, I don't have it yet. I do have the power now. Well, as that us came to the end of anything else you want to share, Tony, before we go?
Not really, James. I think you give our viewers and listeners enough to digest for one day on traffic. But if there's anything they would like us to expand on, then make sure you put comments below the video. They're super important for us, guys. If you want us to expand more on paid traffic or on solo ads or on search engine optimization or whatever the case may be, let us know below the video in the comments. Or just in general, let us know what you think about this episode. It'd be great to hear from you.
Absolutely.
If you've not already subscribed to our newsletter, please visit the website, subscribe. We're going to be sending you some very valuable... We're not going to spam you guys. We're not that... Hopefully you realize we're not those guys.
No, definitely not.
We're going to send you some very valuable information, resources and freebies on a regular basis. So make sure you subscribe.
Yeah. And again, Tony, obviously with the power of Zoom, and it's maybe not ideal for our listeners, but we could actually do like master classes on certain things where we could actually share the screen and actually go through step-by-step processes. And I would be delighted to do that on things that I know, and I'm sure you would be quite happy to do that on your end as well.
Yeah, I'm more than happy to provide anything that our viewers and listeners need to help them progress with their online journeys, James, basically.
Absolutely, and we're delighted that you are, because, as I say, I think we've got a common goal, and we need to start kind of removing all the mystery and the smoke and mirrors around online marketing. Yeah. It's good to show people that it's not a click button instant hit, and the opportunity is there, if providing that you put the work, time, and effort in.
James, we've got to invest. Yeah. I couldn't reiterate what you've just said more there, but we've got a lot of experience between us. But you don't know everything. I certainly don't know everything. But one thing I can guarantee you is this: between us, if a viewer or a listener wants to ask a question and we genuinely don't know the answer to it, we know somebody that does. Okay, we know an expert that we can call on to answer that question for them.
Yeah. Incredible. Well, Tony, I'm again delighted with today's session. We've run a wee bit over, but not in a ridiculous level today, which is great. So
we're not up to the 2 hours today then?
No, I think we've just hit just an hour now. So we'll probably call it a day on that. So guys, thank you so much for watching or listening, depending on what platform you're finding us right now. And we really appreciate you. Again, please make the comments. Tony, and I can't kind of emphasize that enough. If you don't comment on this, then we don't know if we've got an audience that's actually valuable and actually seeing the benefit in what we're putting our time in. If we don't get that kind of feedback, then we're not going to continue this going on forward, because we could be putting this out into our own businesses instead of trying to help you in yours. So please like, subscribe, comment. Let us know where you want us to take this, because we're very flexible in the direction that we can go. Not to mention the fact that we're going to give you opportunities to, if we don't have an expert, if we don't have the expertise in something, we can get somebody on and they can walk us through a whole process as well. We want to give you so much value. So please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Tell your granny, tell your grandfather, tell your next door neighbour. You think you know someone that could benefit from this. We want them to hear about it. Okay, so Tony, once again, thanks so much for an incredible session. Again, you carried the reins most of the way here on this one. This is your wheelhouse, not so much mine. We've got other projects that I'll probably be taking a little bit more involvement in as well down the line. But thank you so much again, Tony. And that's all for us for another episode of Those Two IM Guys. See you all later, guys. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Thanks for listening and watching.
Thanks for joining Those Two IM Guys today. We hope you enjoyed the show. Don't forget to tune in next time for more interesting subjects, hints and tips on running your internet marketing business.